All right, so this video will deal with number. Okay, now I'm not talking about numbers, but when we refer to number, we are talking about singular and plural. All right, singular being one, plural being more than one. All right. Compared to English, honestly, making things plural in Spanish is a lot easier. And in this case, we're talking about nouns. Okay, making nouns plural. If a noun ends in a vowel, all right, A-E-I-O-U, then all you do is add an S. If a noun ends in a consonant, so any of the other 22 letters, then it ends in an ES. Okay, so for example, the word libro, which means book, because it ends in an O, you just add an S, that becomes libros. The word casa, which means house, because it ends in an A, you just add an S, so casas. When it comes to words that end in consonants, remember papel, which ends in the letter L, papel means paper, you add ES, so papeles, okay? And then mujer, which ends in the letter R, mujer means woman, all right? That becomes mujeres, all right? So definitely much easier than English. In English, sometimes you add an S, sometimes you add an ES, sometimes you don't change anything, sometimes you change the whole word, okay? Because man becomes not mans, and mouse does not become mouses. So we really don't have any weird stuff like that, okay? Now, the one unusual thing, though, about Spanish is that the article, okay, that does become plural, which is something we do not do in English, okay? At least not with the definite article, okay? Remember that both el and la mean the. El is the masculine form, la is the feminine, okay? So, if you're going to make el plural, el becomes los, and if you're going to make la plural, all right, la becomes las, all right? And so in this case then, all right, el libro, if it was el libro, it would become los libros. And if it was la casa, it would become las casas, all right? Remember, un and una mean a or an, all right? Now, that one in English does become plural, all right? And I always tell people, you have a book, but what would the plural be, okay? Or in this case, you have a paper or a woman, okay? Una mujer or un papel. What would the plural be in English? And the plural is some, okay? So some papers, some women. All right, but in Espanol, un becomes unos and una becomes unas. Okay, so unos libros, unas casas. Okay, so you also have to make the article plural, just as an FYI. Okay, when it comes to the exam, you have to have both right, okay? So if I ask you to make el libro plural, if you just put libros, you will not receive credit. It needs to be los libros, and so on, okay? Finally, we do have one odd thing in Spanish, and it has to do with spelling, and it only deals with nouns that end in the letter Z, okay? All nouns that end in the letter Z go through a slight spelling change when you make them plural. So, el lápiz, the pencil, la luz, the light. If you're going to make it plural, okay, the Z becomes a C. And then, because the letter C is a consonant, you add ES. All right? And remember, you also make the article plural. So, los lápices, the pencils, las luces, the lights. All right? So there you have it. How to make singular words plural in Español.